Hi there, it's Dawn. I'm back with my Christmas panel, and I just thought I'd come and share a little bit. This is going to be a bit of a stop and start one, but I thought, I'll just come and talk about the things that I have been doing. So some of what I've been doing is I've appliqued all of this decoration all around the whole of this panel, all around here. I've done wreaths around all the rooftops. I struggled with a little bit because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I haven't resolved everything, but I decided that it needed a little bit of continuity. I've done the Christmas trees in just straight stitch with some DMC. Another struggle. I'd painted these trees, which you might have seen in my previous video. If you didn't, you might like to go and have a look. But they just didn't stand out with all of what I've done here. So I had to do a lot more, and then I struggled with the fact that I'd painted it on calico and I had all these white bits, and I've trimmed it and done all sorts of funny things. So yeah, I've yet to put decorations on those, and that will happen. And now what I'm doing is just adding lights on here. Decided to just stick with little tiny beads. And the beads that I have for this project are, they're a Mill Hill bead. Do I have a whole, I've got them in a box here with all little and they're tiny. And I just thought little tiny weeny ones. I started off with bigger ones and that looked silly, so pulled them off and started again with these tiny little ones. I've managed to find a needle without it being a beading needle. It just happens to be a really fine one. No idea where I got it from, somewhere. I'm just using normal sewing machine thread in this colour to add them, and I'm just doing them randomly, so no rhyme nor reason, just trying to add them. More is more sometimes. And I don't know what I want to do next, so I thought, just come and talk to you for a minute. It's going to be, I often find that once I get sort of started, something else comes to me. I've done a little bit of research of what I wanted it to look like were the European Christmas market stalls, shops, and oh my gosh, they're like over the top crazy. And I don't know whether I want it to look like that, but yeah, it might end up looking like that. But I thought just for a bit, I'll just come and just show you what I'm doing, because I'm not really thinking about it. It's just kind of like where the needle pops out again. I'm not trying to aim for a spot. I'm just putting them where they land. I have got a couple of slightly bigger ones that are not as teeny tiny as the others. The Mill Hill beads are designed for, wait, you've got to pull your thread through. Excuse me. Gosh, every time I turn the video on, I croak. But I'm just scattering a couple of bigger ones just because I like the look of it, really, more than anything else. I just thought that I would come and have a chat with you while I'm doing this. Yep, so that's what I'm doing. Thought I would share that with you. Oh, the other thing that I did do were the flower boxes. So I did these 3 flower boxes here and just used a thread. It's actually like a it's a shiny thread. It's a DMC one, and I just used 2 strands of it to make sort of like maybe a poinsettia flower or something, and then added little red beads just to attach to those. I think it might be too much for these other little other videos. Oh gosh, hook my brain in a second. These little tiny windows, I think flower boxes there like that. Oh, obviously I can't do that, but I don't know what I'm going to do there. I've got a couple of little plans just with regards to maybe some decorations hanging in the windows, trying to make them look like they're hanging from the inside and not on the outside, although that might end up happening. I don't know. But anyway, I thought if I just show you what I'm doing with the beading, and you've got a bit of an idea about that. It's been a really long project, one that I've picked up, put down, picked up in between a whole lot of other things. But I'm keen to get it finished now because I'm just going to run out of time if I don't put some concerted effort into it. So today was the day. I did a bit of stitching yesterday and got sort of that embroidery, all of this embroidery. What I did was just did like little tiny lazy daisies. Hopefully that's obvious to you. You know, like a detached chain, just to make it look like a wreath. You know, a wreath hanging on the rooftops with lights, and that's why I've chosen the white beads, and quite happy with the look of that. So I'm good with that. All right, well, I'll keep working away on this. It's going to be a stop and start, like I said, and it's going to go over a few days. But I thought if I don't include you, it's going to be all done before I'm recording it, and then I'm just going to show you the last thing. So, you know, the end of the video will be hopefully it completed, and I'll be ready to hang it above my door frame where I normally hang a wreath of homemade decorations. There's another Christmas panel hanging up there if you happen to catch me in a previous video where I did a little bit of a studio tour, so they'll stay there. I won't take them down. Oh yeah, there are just some of those little beads that are going to require a beading needle, and I just decided that I'm not doing a beading needle till I absolutely have to, because they're horrible to get threaded. They're just so... I'm certainly not going to do it on screen because that will take me like too long to thread a needle. So every now and then one of these little beads the needle won't go through it, but mostly they do. And I have to tell you, I think I got it when I did the retreat with Lisa Matic. She had a nice little glass tube of needles. Oh no, I might have picked it up. No, I'm going to tell you a story now. I'm just like, I think I get something, and then I think, no, that's not where I got it from. I bought a Mill Hill stitchery pattern of it's like a cross stitch where you use all the beads, and I think it came with it, and I've protected them. I've squirreled them away into a safe place, going, I know those needles go... silly. They go through the hole of the needle, like the hole is a reasonable size rather than those awful beading needles. Oh, the beading needles are all right. Horrible to thread. Need my super magnifiers on to get them to thread. You're probably the same. if you've used beading needles. Sorry, did my head bump the camera then? Don't know. Anyway, like I said, they're going to stay on my wall. I won't put them away. I put other Christmas things away, but I think these ones will stay. Oh, and there's another one. All right. Well, I need to go and make sure that they stay far away from the needle that I'm using. And I'll come back to you when I'm at the next point, and it'll be making a decision. I keep, trying to get a bit of inspiration through Pinterest and places like that where I can see real photographs of Christmas shops. Oh gosh, they're all not gonna go through now, and they were doing so well. Okie doke, I will stop there. I think they look all right. More is more sometimes with Christmas lights. I'll catch you again in a... you'll hardly know I've been gone. Bye. I'm back for a minute. So I've finished all, my lights up here. And I've been working on the trees here to try and just give them something. They don't need to make a major spectacle of themselves, but yeah, I think what I've done here is okay. So I'm working on this little one here. Not yet this one. What I've been using is this thread that, sorry, I don't understand the writing. This is a machine thread that's quite fine. It's for use in a machine. There, maybe you can see how fine it is. The thing about metallic machine thread is it's robust. It's designed to manage speed and tension, and so it doesn't shred like hand embroidery thread does, but it's very, very fine. And so I have to use it double for what I'm doing at the minute, but it's a great thread. I've got heaps of it. I've used it in the machine. It's challenging in the machine, but you can buy needles for the machine that are designed for metallic thread. So whatever they are, they've probably got a specific design to the eye of the needle. But what I've been doing is just doing this very fine thread just as a back stitch, a bit like tinsel, so that I can stitch some beads on. And I thought I'd come and just show you what I'm doing. It disappears in amongst the pine needles, and that's probably okay for what it is. I don't need it to be a major focus, just something. And I thought all these little trees together, if they were in a town, they were probably decorated in a similar way. So I've decided to do it like that. It will, it has its moments, this thread, but I quite like it. And as I said, it's quite robust. It doesn't shred in the needle. It'll tangle a bit, get itself in a bit of a knot every now and then, and it's just a little bit of patience. But it's so much better than like the DMC metallic threads are so temperamental and they shred in the needle. This one doesn't. You can get all the way to the end and it still hasn't shredded. So yep, I'm good with using it. And so yeah, I just decided to just track down the fronds, you know, the pine fronds of my basic embroidery idea. And then I just go back and add the beads to give it a little bit of twinkle, which is really all I'm aiming for. With my finger under here, I'm kind of managing the tension a bit because it can get itself just can get itself in a bit of a tangle. I'm just using these little sparkly yellow beads that I have just to did I get my head then? Just felt like I got my head in the camera then. And I'm following a pattern because I just felt like it needed some continuity. You know, they're funny little trees. Oh goodness, can't see it for looking at it. Yeah, I just thought they might look better if they were similar. Yeah, so I'm sort of doing a top one, a middle one, and an end one. I don't know why I'm struggling picking up that bead, but I was then. Yeah, I'm probably a bit close to you. Why don't I pull you up a little bit? It's just because I'll bring these beads over so I can see them just for a start. So yeah, I'm doing this on here, so that I just thought if you've got a bit of an idea of what I'm doing, you might be inspired by that too. That just by keeping it simple and similar, I think lends it to the design rather than getting, trying to think of something for every single tree. I don't think that needs to happen. Making them all the same just gives the eye a little bit of peace when it's looking at things. Oh, yeah. Oh, I just saw that bead has got a bit of a thread going on there. It might cope. Oh, there. Can pull it along. All I did was just pull the thread up there. Oh, can you see? Yeah. And I just made sure that it kept the thread in stopped it from making knots and things. And like I said, this metallic thread is pretty good in that it doesn't get itself, she says, but it will cope with being yanked about a bit. I find the DMC threads, once you split it into maybe one strand, it then becomes very what I would say undermined. It doesn't, it doesn't hold its own. It shreds really quickly, and where this one doesn't. It doesn't do that. I've pulled and twisted it, and I've done all sorts of things with it, and it's coping. It's just holding its own. It rarely sort of really rips, where the other DMC type ones Not that I don't mean to be putting DMC down, because what would we do without them? But they're fragile, where this one, like I said, because it's designed to cope, you know, the computerized machines, the more modern ones that we've all got, well, you know, that are around now. God, I can't get that bead. Sorry. You know, the tension stays the same, where the older machines, the tension and the speed is adjusted by your foot on the pedal, and so it's harder on the thread, where the computerized ones is, you know, it's a regular rhythm, it's a regular speed and tension, and it supports the thread. So yeah, I just find that these machine threads for hand stitching work really well. So the next thing is, of course, is that big tree. Oh, it's not, might not be the next thing. It's one of the things that I've still got to resolve. I don't know how I want to tackle it yet. Can't pick up one of these beads. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. Haven't made a final decision. I won't do it the same way as these. I just thought these little ones together, you know, being all the same. Oh, goodness. Don't know why I can't pick those other ones up. Work together just to make a design feature, all being the same. I've got a few more. I don't know why those ones, I can't pick them up. They're almost like they didn't have a hole in them. I've got beads all over my board here. Yep. It's sunset here. Can you hear the birds? They're all flying over. I don't know what sort of birds they are. They're making a blooming noise outside. But yeah, it is sunset here. Well, the sun's already gone down, so I don't know what they're doing. They're all going home to roost. I don't know if you could hear them. Good. All right. I think they look all right, like all being the same. They're outside of the shops and they've decorated them the same. And it's just now getting to the big tree and how that little town of shops wants to decorate that tree. And so, yeah, this thread has, and it's still going. It hasn't shredded itself in the needle. It hasn't done anything. I'm sorry it doesn't have a name on it that tells you what it is. I can't read the symbols that are on there. I'm not sure what it's written in, but it's great. It's a great one. It was on my sewing machine thread, in amongst my sewing machine threads. Yeah, I like it. Okay, I'll be back. I'm still working on this panel, but for the last little while, I've been just working on the windows because, you know, they just look like blank windows, and I wanted to jazz them up a bit, and I just decided to go for some sort of quirky little things, really. So the first thing that I did was to add a little bit of white. I'll see if I can get something to help me show you what I've been doing. So you might remember that they were just plain yellow. And so what I've done is added a bit of light in the windows, just so that it looks like there's a light on inside. Well, you've got that lovely glow. still. Yeah, I've just been working on those a little bit. On the top windows here, I decided to make it sort of look like there was some people in the windows. So a couple of little people here, a Christmas tree almost in every window, because these are all individual shops and I'm assuming residences. A couple of little people here with their little swag. I don't think that I'm going to put any more embroidery like wreaths and things over the windows. They're just too little. These ones they just got curtains on them. I didn't put anybody in the windows because I thought they're too little. And this one I thought could be a restaurant. And so I thought you might like to see what I'm doing. I've been working with pens that say that they're water-based ink. This is this brand. These actually were pens that I bought for the kids to use and they've loved using them. They came in a big set of stuff. And yeah, they're good. You can add the detail. I've also been using this one, which was again another cheapie, but I've also been using some Tombow markers. Again, they're water-based, so they can, and Pitt pens, Pitt artist pen brushes. So just, it depends what colour I want as to which pen I use, and then just adding a little bit of water as I go along. But I thought in this one, this is the Christmas tree shop. I've decided it's the Christmas tree shop. This one's got a tree in it. It's got the little soldiers. Again, this one just looks like it's got presents or something, a tree with present. It's kind of repetitive, but I'm trying to make it a little bit different. Some little decorations hanging in the window. But I thought if I just show you the way that I've worked with these pens. So there's going to be a tree in each of these windows. These come with a brush on one end, a tip on the other end, and work quite nicely on the fabric. So I just decided that, yeah, that's the way that I would do this, and thought that you might like to see. So I'm just doing really sketchy marks. Like, I don't want to make it too detailed. I'm using a water brush to help activate it. I don't know how long you have to actually have the ink on the fabric before it actually dries. You know, I know that the Pitt pens will dry permanently after a little while, and I don't know about these ones because I haven't tested it. But yeah, this is just all that I'm doing, and thought that you might be interested in that if that's what you want to do. Should I have done it before I did the embellishment? Probably, but I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I just did it. You know, with the window frames, I just added a bit more green in there. And so yeah, this is my plan. I thought this one's going to be like a bakery, maybe gingerbread men or something. You can watch what I'm doing. You'll see that I've done a fair bit of beading and things to just embellish where I was up to. I know that that looks a bit strange, but once the water hits it, then it blends it in and makes it a bit more tree shaped. Yeah, so I've put, you know, decorations on these trees, fairly simple ones. I've yet to do the big one. Decided that's probably my last little bit that I'll do. But then I thought, oh, before I finish doing this, you might be a little bit interested. And yeah, the water will move the colour around, still keep a bit of the pen mark. And then I'm just using, you know, other things to make it look like there's a decoration, just putting a dot on it really. I've got a bit of paper towel under it just in case the water goes through, but I'm hardly adding anything, any water really. It doesn't take a lot of water to activate it, so it doesn't need heaps. Yeah, so this is what I'm doing. Just whatever. I don't want to make it too detailed because I'm not trying to make it look realistic. It's just the suggestion that there's something in there, something in the window. Maybe they could have a little bit of a wreath, you know, hanging in each window. Like that. It might have some decorations on it. Might not. Cool. The other thing that I want to do is just ground that a little bit. So I'm just going to add a little bit of brown here, and then I'll activate that with the water. Excuse me. Just to give the sorry, just to give the windows a bit of shadow depth. Like I said, it's teeny tiny. You're never going to find things to, well, you might, but I couldn't find things to to add as detail. Like these are fairly big. I'm not going to add any like people or anything here because they'd have to be very teeny tiny. And I don't have anything that's got that sort of pattern on it that I could maybe cut out an applique. Like some of these are probably a bit big, but I think they still look okay. Yeah, sometimes the water doesn't come through this brush. I'm just trying to make it work on my finger here. Why won't that one work? I don't know. Just doesn't want to. Just wants to be a nuisance just because I've got the video on. No other reason. Okay. Done. You know, I'm not doing anything more. I am going to put a wreath along the bottom of the awning. I haven't resolved that in my head yet, so I'm going to just work on that one. But you may not see me work on it. You probably won't see me work on the tree. So I think I will have maybe a gingerbread house. It's not going to be perfectly okay. Probably needs to have slightly wider sides. I had another pit pen here that was sort of like a biscuity colour. I thought that might work. It's not going to have white on it because I haven't got white. So if I just do the suggestion of windows and a door maybe, and some little bits of stuff here. It could be a doll's house. Might not even be a gingerbread house. Maybe I'll do a gingerbread man here. Yeah, maybe another one. And then if I just use this pen to blend it a bit, that might help. You're not going to see the icing detail because it's like I said, it's in the shop window, so it kind of looks like something's going on in this shop, like gingerbread or something. I might hang a wreath, 2 wreaths in the window. One here. A little bit more greenery. Just sort of dots and dashes and things like that. You can hang with maybe a red ribbon. Might have a little bow at the top. Can have some red berries in it. Done. All right. I'm going to check out and see how this video is going. I don't remember how long it is because it's been in fits and starts, but I just wanted to show you those bits. I'm going to do here, you know, some of these swirly things with the ink pad, so just to sort of get rid of that pale colour, but I'm not going to do any other detail here. I don't think it probably needs it, but you know, more is more sometimes. My big tree needs some decorations and I need to resolve putting, you know, I thought originally from these poles, you know, one swag to the end. Like I said, I've been fiddling around with it, so this window probably needs something hanging from the window, doesn't it? Let's do some orangey baubles as well as red ones. But I'm happier with the windows. I knew that they were never finished. I just hadn't got my head around as to exactly how I was going to finish. I couldn't decide whether I was going to embroider in them, and then just decided that I would paint little pictures in each window because I couldn't find anything small enough to put in the window. And so this was my thoughts about that. It's going to be hung up, you know, reasonably high on my wall, above a doorway actually, where I'm going to have a Christmas wreath. So yeah, it's nearly there. It's getting there. All right, I'll probably be back for the last couple of minutes for this. All righty, back in a second. So I forgot to tell you that I went to our, you know, local Spotlight. I was looking for these, you know, blending tools that were little. I'd used some with Corinne, and hers were foam, but I bought these in a blister pack. Didn't know what I was buying, but you know, there were 3 different sizes. This is the littlest one, but when I opened them, they're like bristles. But oh my gosh, they work fantastically well. So that's the brand. They weren't very expensive, $6 Australian dollars. Ink blending brushes. They work great. And so I thought I'd just show you because, you know, they work great. So just with a normal, you know, the distress ink, this is Vintage Photo, I'm just like squishing the brush into the ink pad. And then, you know, this is a little teeny tiny, and, you know, I struggled with it with the other one, and, you know, with the other blending tool because it was a bit big. But with this one, wow, that worked amazingly well. And so I thought, I'll come back and show you that because I'm pretty happy with it. You know, all I'm doing is doing like that. And then going over the stencil with that little brush. It's gone good. I think the ones that I'd seen were makeup brushes and I couldn't find them. So how good is that? I'm very happy with these. They weren't a horrible price. You know, they're good. And a little bit more easy to manage on little tiny things. The big blending, you know, the big blending foam things that come Tim Holtz type ones. How good is it? I'm very happy with it. I'm probably happier with this side than I am with this side. I'd actually go back and have another go at that because, you know, I don't know if that's the one I used. I'm just trying to work out where I had it. No, just have to do another one. Let's do another one. They're so good. It's so good, this little brush. Very cool. Yay, look at that. It's like way better. Way better. No, I don't know how I got that. Just looking at the design of it and going, gonna see if I can go over it. Cool. All right. You might like to look around for it, but that was the brand. Like I said, it's a little brush. It's not foam. It's got bristles. You know, they're all, yeah, it's good. It's great. It's great. I'm very happy with it. All right, cool. I'll keep working on this and I'll be back probably. I just thought I would share with you what I'm doing as far as this bit of embroidery. I decided to do a gold, like, bit of tinsel just under the awnings, and I'm going to have some, you know, beads and things. I've been using this Diamante Grand thread, the 6 strands that it comes in, and I'm just doing a split back stitch just so, you know, I didn't want to make it, I didn't want it to be huge because you know, I didn't want it to be too, you know, foofy or whatever. I just wanted it to hang under the awning, so I'm coming back. You know, it's tricky because it's metallic, so, and it bends and it twists. So I'm just bringing my needle back through the middle of the previous stitch and then coming forward. I do it this way, just saves a bit of thread just for a start. So come forward and then go back into that stitch, just sort of, you know, somewhere, you know, close to where it went, the end of it. Sometimes I catch it and it goes a bit wibbly, but I figure, you know, the awning clips might have slipped. Ours certainly do on our guttering. When we put our lights up, one clip gets in a funny place. Those gutter clips, but it's time to fix them. You know, you can't buy those gutter clips during the year. Funny, isn't it? But I have to tell you a funny story. I might put it in the description that I reached 1,000 subscribers. How cool is that? I'm so thrilled. So today is Sunday, and last night, Saturday night, after tea, probably closer to bedtime than anything else, but anyway, my number 10 grandson messages me, my 10-year-old one, who's been here and enjoyed YouTube with me before, messages me, "Congratulations, Annette, you've got 1,000 subscribers." And I said, "Oh my gosh, I didn't realise it. I knew that it was at 999 and, it had been there for like a day. And, that's all right. I don't go in and check it, all the time." And I said, "Oh, that's like fantastic. Isn't that good?" And he comes back and he goes, "Yep." His brother, who is almost 13, he said, "I convinced him to be your 1,000th subscriber, Nana," and he did. Oh my God, they made me laugh, the pair of them. How funny. How funny are grandboys and grandsons. So 1,000 subscribers. Compliments of my grandchildren. How cute is that? Anyway, there we go. All right, so I'm going to stitch on, just wanted to share that. I'm going to stitch on some little teeny tiny sequins. I've got some red and green beads and I've got some goldish beads. And I just thought that I would use, I'm not going to use this one, this 6-stranded one. I'm going to use that gold thread that I was using for the trees, which is, that one. And this video is like a lot of stopping and starting, but I just thought I'm kind of showing you the techniques. You can't even see that thread. It's so fine. So fine. Yeah, so there we go. I've had a full weekend. We've been to farmers markets and craft markets and a craft show, all in one weekend. My friend came and stayed the night and we did sleepovers. Might have been a wine involved. But anyway, we went to a twilight craft market. It wasn't as good as it's been in the past, which was a bit of a shame. Oh gosh, I've made this thread like way too long. Sorry. Yeah, so anyway, I didn't get much there. What we're finding at the moment, I don't know where you are, but these 3D printers, yeah, lots of that sort of stuff. Lots of sort of, boutique people who are making their own gin. Might have bought a nice limoncello to enjoy. Yeah, that was that. And then this morning we had a local craft art and craft fair. Gosh, it's the market people are called Craft Alive. We have art and craft markets Victoria, and they're run around the state where it's locally made produce, craft things, which was what was last night. But this one was like in the vein of the Australian craft and quilt fairs. So it's stall holders with you know, supplies, craft supplies. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Oh, it's great. In the middle of it, it was in this big tin shed. In the middle of it, we had this massive thunderstorm. God, the rain came down so hard we couldn't even hear each other talking. It was like ridiculous. Gosh, this thread's got itself slightly... Goodness, what's going on here? I've got like... okay. All right. So, I don't know where that's going. That's going off in its own direction. There we go. We'll leave that one over there. I'm just going to alternate these beads. Anyway, it was great in amongst even a thunderstorm. It was like fantastic. Goodness, do you really want to know about how difficult this is on my table? This gold thread's crazy. Oh, I've changed the subject 10 times. It was good. The craft show was good. It was a quilt and craft, so quilting fabrics, lots of paper arts, stamping sort of stuff. But I got some really good embroidery stuff. I got a lamp, a table one. Just, I find that I need the extra light when I go, you know, when I'm stitching, I need more than just overhead lights. So I got myself a little table lamp. Anyway, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to love and leave you because I'm all over the place here. I'm not even I'm not even staying on the subject. Got a good lamp. Got some threads. Got some wool embroidery. Got some silk embroidery. Got some, I don't know what else I bought. What else did I buy? Oh, sort of some stamping things because, you know, these bits and pieces that I do here. Bought a new stamp pad, you know, that sort of stuff. Anyway, it was good. It was great in the middle of a big thunderstorm. All right. I might come back and share with you for one more minute and then that'll be the end of this video. Take care. Okay, this is the last 2 minutes of this video. I've done the tinsel and lights under all the awning. I carried it across all the way. And I'm now putting the twinkles on the big tree. So I've got these little tiny weeny sequins and even tinier weeny sequins, and that's all I'm using. I'm just doing it in a, you know, the same, just using the same things. Oh, I put a little gold star on the top of the tree, button, a little gold button that I had. I thought that looked all right. Yeah, and so I'm not trying to put these sequins on with a bead or anything. They're absolutely miniature, but they're just a little twinkle. And so I thought they kind of represent the lights and the others represent some other level of decoration. And so that's me. This panel, I'm almost calling it done. By the time you see it, it will be done. I will put a thumbnail of the finished thing. It'll be finished in the next little while. Hallelujah. I feel like this one's gone on and on for a while. I've actually, you know, it's gone over quite a number of weeks, and it was just because it was one of my things that I was just doing whenever I had a bit of a chance, really. Cool. Okay, well, that's it for me for tonight. I'm going to sign off. I think those little twinkles are all that tree needs. And yeah, I've got all my little shop's all done and dusted. Cool. All right. I hope you've enjoyed this project. I've loved doing it. It certainly got me in a Christmas mood. Okay. I'll catch you in my next video. Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.